Thanks for joining us again at the Free Rocky Nation. Today, we are going to shut down the rumor mill. Rumor has it that we are scammers. Our content is free, so I'm not quite sure how that works. When I say we, I mean my son and I here, my father at Illinois River Correctional Center, my dad's supporters at the Weston A. Price Foundation, the attorneys in Peoria that helped my dad litigate civil rights violations, and the website administrator that operates my dad's website. Those are the founding members of the Free Rocky Nation. You already know someone who has a family member in prison. And I'm not just talking about myself. The United States has the highest incarceration rate of any industrialized nation. Inside the prison walls are fathers, mothers, sons, daughters, sisters, and brothers. Inside, each person on the inside, represents a broken family on the outside. We at the Free Rocky Nation see you and your loved ones. We are here to share that experience in all its joys and sorrows. Every prison sentence comes to an end, period. Today's inmates will eventually become your neighbors and coworkers. Free Rocky Nation exists to make people aware of the issues inmates face. You should know what kind of person these prison for profits are churning out. You think that only people who break the law go to prison. We are here to tell you, first, that is a lie. And second, people break the law while working inside the prison. Yet, those same people do not become prisoners themselves. We're here to tell you that very little rehabilitation is done inside these so-called correctional centers. Before inmates become your neighbors, they are housed, fed, traumatized, and violated by the prison system. After these transgressions, inmates have to first write a grievance. The grievance procedure is not easy to navigate, so my dad wrote a book to help prisoners help themselves. Even if an inmate does do every step correctly, his grievance may still be tampered with. He or she may receive threats or even bribes. We are here to tell you that the only pressure release system within the prison walls does not always work. We want to be a part of the solution and give inmates a safe space to share their experiences. When an inmate's grievance is unsuccessful, he or she may seek legal remedies. The prison staff that you already pay will receive free representation in court. Free to them, that is. Your tax dollars pay their attorney fees. Your tax dollars pay the judges and or juries to hear the case. If the inmate wins, your tax dollars pay the damage amount. We here at the Free Rocky Nation want you to know where your money is going. Before they go to prison, all inmates were humans, just like you and I are. They were told that they broke some kind of law somewhere. Guess what? Laws change. Recreational use of marijuana is now legal in Illinois, for example. Unfortunately, 90 inmates are still incarcerated on marijuana charges for less than 200 grams. In March of 2021, state officials estimated that a total of 116,000 convictions involving 30 grams or less of marijuana were eligible for pardons under the new law. There are also an estimated 572,000 marijuana arrests that will be expunged over the next 5 years. At Free Rocky Nation, we follow legislation and keep you updated on how it changes. Before those laws were written, you and I elected legislators to write those laws. At the Free Rocky Nation, we watch how our elected officials behave while in office. Did you know that Governor Pritzker has evaded over $400,000 in taxes? Did you know that Pritzker also commuted the sentence of Alma Durr? Miss Durr held a revolver to her 21-month-old son's head and pulled the trigger. She had been sentenced to life. Pritzker commuted her sentence such that she will be released when she is 50 years old. Pritzker also released an inmate in 2020 who had been charged with aggravated sexual assault 60 days prior. Pritzker appointed Rob Jeffries as the director of the Illinois Department of Corrections. Did you know that Jeffries had been asked to retire from the Ohio Department of Corrections? Did you know he had been asked to leave? He was. He was asked to retire because he had been allowing the guards to abuse the inmates. The new director that stepped in right after Jeffries for the Ohio Department of Corrections immediately instituted body cams on her correctional staff. Did you know that Pritzker appointed his own sister to manage COVID-19 relief funds for nonprofit organizations? Penny Pritzker served as the head chairperson of that committee. At the Free Rocky Nation, we want you to know what our representatives are doing or not doing to stop the epidemic of mass incarceration. Because I deeply believe in everything that I just told you, I do a lot of work to advocate for prison reform. I research law. I write letters and emails to elected officials. I try to connect with other prison reform advocates. I have an email account through the prison system that I use to email my dad. Every one of those emails costs me money. I have a separate email account for Free Rocky Nation. I record, edit, and produce podcasts and YouTube videos. I manage an Instagram account and a Patreon account on behalf of my father. I even hand out business cards to people I meet in person. I am basically a contracted public relations manager. I do all of that on top of my two other jobs, and I am a single parent. None of the equipment that I use is free. I have a microphone that you can't see, lighting, a camera that is mounted on a tripod. I use my own laptop. The internet is full of content creators that receive advertising dollars or direct donations from their fans. A few have their own merch. We have merch if you consider my dad's books. We would like advertising dollars, but we need enough internet traffic to attract sponsors. Unfortunately, we also need sponsors to attract internet traffic. It's a vicious cycle, really. We also fundraise for legal fees. My dad currently has 2 cases in court. He is working on a third. My dad needs a lawyer for the third case. It's a medical malpractice case, so spread the word. Lawyers need to be paid. Legal fees have to be paid in order to submit documents to the courts. Postage and envelopes are not free. Paper and ink is not free. Copies are not free. I am not at a point in my life where I can work for free. Being an advocate for my father could really be a full-time profession for me. That is where Patreon comes in. We need funding to continue this work. As of late, I have been dedicating 1 day a week, unpaid, to create and manage content for my dad. I cannot continue to put in the amount of hours that I have, like I have been doing, without your support. I hope that I have dispelled the "we are a scam" rumor. I thank each and every one of you for listening, viewing, subscribing, and advocating for prison reform. Subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you know when we post new videos. Listen to the Free Rocky Nation anywhere you get your podcast. Please follow us on Instagram. We need more followers. We would love to have you. Email us with your questions, comments, and experiences at freerocky@freerockynation.org. Don't forget to visit our blog at LarryRockyHarrisX2.com. Like us on Facebook. Just look for Larry Rocky Harris 1959. Buy my dad's books on Amazon. You'll find titles such as Never Ending Nightmare, chronicling his sham trial that brought him this 65-year sentence. 100 filthy and raunchy jailhouse jokes, 100 more filthy and raunchy jailhouse jokes, and The Prisoner's Guide to Filing a Winning Grievance. He's currently working on his 3rd joke book. It's in the editorial process. Like what you're hearing on the Free Rocky Nation? Support us by visiting Patreon. Our Patreon page is patreon.com/freerockynation. Until next time, #end mass incarceration, #prison reform, #instajustice.